In 2016, David Holder and Jason Farmer claimed their first NZRC crown with a round to spare.
Certainly something we haven't experienced before, obviously.
But in 2017, there are 6 rallies and each round will count for points.
There's plenty of competition this year, so we'll have to be doing our best.
There's a record number of championship entries. Ford, Holden, Toyota have joined the ranks with brand new AP4 cars.
There's probably at least 6 to 7, probably 8 cars you could throw a blanket over, and they're all capable of winning.
It's a really exciting time for the National Rally Championship, and we're just loving being a part of it.
But to win this year, finishing every round will be key.
We'll just try and push on to finish as many rallies as we can.
I think to win this championship, you really need reliability and to finish the events. It's that's really what hounded us last season. So it's going to be challenging.
When you have a year like we had last year, you know how low you can get.
I think if you're not putting a Zeka out or you're not having bad stages, then you're going to be doing well.
This year we're amped up. We definitely have to say we have to go for the championship win.
Welcome to the Drive South Rally of Otago, round 1 of the New Zealand Rally Championship. We've got an exciting season ahead with new cars, new drivers and new rallies. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with these rock stars for the next 6 months. So let's get to it.
The car that I'm driving this year in Rally Otago is a Hyundai AP4. Something that we've done very little driving of before, and coming from a production-based Evo into a proper AP4 car is certainly a big step up. So I'm not quite sure what to expect yet, to be honest. You learn things about cars when you get to different situations. So I think it'll be a bit of a rally of learning a few things in a few areas.
We built a new car for this year. Yeah, wanted to get into a new AP4 car. Had a bit of excitement. So we've just built a new Toyota Yaris AP4, first of the 1600s. So yeah, debuting it this weekend.
At the end of last year, we had to make a call on where we want to head for the 2017 season. At that point, we weren't sure if we were going to run a new car or rebuild our car, but something had to happen because our car last season had a lot of problems and was getting tired and worn out, so we knew we had to make a big call. After a bit of searching around and research, we decided rebuilding our Evo 10 was the best option, especially for the time frame we had to work with.
Day 1 of the Drive South Rally Otago will be based in Lawrence. 6 fantastic fast stages, then finishing in Dunedin with the street sprint. Day 2 will be based in Lake Waihola, south of Dunedin, using the Berwick Forest and the roads across the Tyree Hills, including the roller coaster Kuribush. Just getting the NZRC cars to the start in Dunedin has been a huge job, right up to the day before the event.
Rallying is a moving target. Here we are here today, the start of the event in a local business shed, which is greatly appreciated. And we're working with what we've got here today, and to get ourselves prepared. And I'm sure as the event goes on, we're moving around again. So yeah, it's a moving target in more ways than one.
So Neil, can you tell us some of the logistics that are involved in putting together everything the day before the event?
Well, one of the things, is tyres. So we get a bit of feedback from Glenn as to, what the stages were like, surfaces like. We've got 2 different types of tyres we can use this weekend. So we'll work through what we need and when we need them and make sure we've got, the necessary numbers on rims. Obviously just fuel calcs, refueling positions on where that's got to be done, what's got to be in what sort of vehicle to go and do remote refuels and things like that. Just people, jobs they've got to do, places they've got to be. Here we are now. We're just finishing off a little bit of wiring and stuff in the car, some last minute things, down to scrutineering, stickers to apply. Rally safe to put in, to fit, make sure all that's working, and then get the car up to the show, for the ceremonial start. So still quite a lot to do, and people running everywhere basically.
Day 1, Stage 1, Fellaburn, 11.8 kilometres. First on the road for defending champ David Holder. Conditions absolutely perfect, Patrick.
That's right, Clint. Last year, dust was a major issue down here in Rally Otago, but yesterday, It's been raining, and today conditions are perfect to go rallying.
Ben Hunt has worked hard in the off-season to improve the new Subaru.
And Ben and the Winger Subaru team will have high expectations here. Rally Otago has always been a fast event, and they were fast here last year, even with problems.
Matt Summerfield has shown that his older Subaru can still hold its own with the new generation cars. But it can be fragile at times. Sloane Cox will be hoping his reliability problems are gone after a complete ground-up rebuild over the last few months. Now, there's a great spectator spot on the stage, and large numbers have turned out.
Oh, but there's trouble ahead here. The green light on the bottom right there means there's a car stopped on the stage, and look, Summerfield's parked up on the left there. Uh-oh, not good.
And this year, all cars have a 34mm restrictor.
Driving the car this year with a restrictor versus last year when it was unrestricted, it definitely has a different, power spot, and it probably reminds me a lot more of when I used to drive the production cars, the Group M cars, where you're always shifting up a gear. You drop off the power pretty quickly and you need to pick another gear. Versus last year where your power band in the Wii Suzuki was always up quite high, so you got used to revving.
Now, Andrew Hawkswood tested his car with a restrictor at the final round in 2016. He reported that the car was more predictable.
And that means more confidence for the driver. A linear power curve means he doesn't have to throw it into every single corner, but he probably still will.
Big expectations for Glenn Inkster and Spencer Wynn this year in the Skoda, but a small hiccup at the start line.
We've got a little few systems different when we actually go to the start line, and I had it in neutral in the off the start line of stage one, so it didn't go anywhere and then stalled, so it was a bit average.
And Josh Marston brings the highly anticipated Holden team to the start.
So sitting on the start of stage one, absolutely amping to get into it. Right, into gear, think we're all ready to go, went to hit the button for launch control, hit the wrong button, turned the car off. Brilliant. So found the button to turn the car back on, crank, 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 away you go. I'm looking down at Rally Safe going, oh, we're not even going to get in on time. Fires into life and away we go.
And I think we can put that down to first stage nerves. But it is great to see this car out in the stage. And of course, Greg Murphy will be joining us in the second round at Whangarei with another Holden. Both these cars have been built by Josh and his team at RDL in Christchurch, and they're a fantastic addition to the NZRC fleet.
Flat out, 7 left over crest, keep in.
Another new car this time is a Ford Fiesta for Clinton Cunningham.
6 right plus opens, then caution, keep left over crest, immediate 4 left.
And this is one of 2 Ford Fiestas arriving this year. The second will come from Australia for Richie Dalton at round 4. Both these cars are based on a Polish proto chassis, but everything else in Clinton's car has been built right here in New Zealand.
It's got a misfire, eh? Yep. 6 left plus.
But it looks like an early engine issue for Cunningham.
Don't worry, just keep driving, buddy.
And the new cars just keep on coming. This is the AP4 Yaris for Carl Davies.
We don't have a lot of experience in Otago. Last year was a bit of a mare for us. I think we only got the first day done, and we had car issues last year. But it's just an iconic rally, and great excuse for a holiday on the way down and seeing this beautiful country and getting down here to some real people who, just got the enthusiasm for rallying down here.
Great to see a guy really excited about what he's doing. And how's this for a classic? It's the original AP4 car, the ex-Andrew Hawkswood Master, now in the hands of Reese Gardner. Stage 2 Gooseneck, 23.1 kilometres. David Holder, second fastest on stage 1, which is a good sign if he's just easing himself into the car.
Yes, Dave's really enjoying driving this Hyundai AP4, but he also knows it's a fantastic opportunity which he isn't going to risk with a crash.
Ben Hunt in trouble though. The car has a brake issue and he's bleeding time on these stages.
And brake issues are not a problem you want on stages that require this amount of bravery.
A small moment for Sloane Cox, but he takes it in his stride.
Fast Otago roads is something that I love and enjoy. I think it's one of the reasons why Otago roads are one of my favourite. Just I guess the commitment you need to have on these fast crests, and when you're tapped in top gear for a long time, jumping in and out of corners.
Like Emma Gilmore is here, only she has a cow to contend with.
5 left. 5 left.
Andrew Hawkswood, always a big fan of these roads, always using all of the roads too as he slides through the stage.
You could just about do the whole day on one set of tyres, and you know, everybody's happy. It's no, it's going to be great, and with the weather conditions that we've got at the moment, the you know, having no dust is going to be a bonus. I was a little bit concerned about starting at 6 after last year's.
And disaster though for Darren Galbraith. He's got brake issues as Glenn Inkster is right on target to pass him. The Holden of Josh Marsden having an electrical issue on these opening stages. Frustrating start to his campaign, which would see him retire with service. But Carl Davies is improving with each kilometre in the Yaris.
And Carl's a driver that's made huge improvements year on year in this championship. And going from a Group N Subaru to this AP4 Toyota is a huge step again.
So 2 stages down, Hawkswood already has a 15-second lead ahead of Gardner, Cox, Holder and Gilmore. The Otago International Classic Rally has attracted a former WRC driver, a crazy Irishman and an NZ Classic Ford fan, Tony Gosling.
Well, I arrived in New Zealand. I was always more interested in motocross and things like that, and I went out to watch a rally sprint and met a guy called Groove, Robert McCallum, in a green, fairly serious Escort. Went for a ride with him and, yeah, became hooked.
And it wasn't long before Gosling had a BDA Escort in his garage.
When the car was brand new, Hayden drove it. He was the first person to drive the car in this rally. I was a little bit scared of it, I think, to be honest with you, so we let Hayden have a go. He obviously had a lot of fun, and then I took over the steering wheel from then on. This is probably one of my favourite stories. So we were doing the Hayden thing and stadium cars, and we had the Skoda at the yard, and we also had a simulator. The prize was to get a ride with Hayden. You had to beat his time on the simulator. 24th person, and the time still hadn't been beat, so I was thinking I might be getting a free ride in a rally car with Hayden, you know. And then this wee kid turned up.
Hayden set a time on the simulator, and then I think I was about 12 then, and I actually bet his time, so not sure how well that went down, but yeah.
For 2017, Tony has taken Ari under his wing with a left-hand drive Fiesta purchased in Europe and a plan for a big future.
Yeah. The Hayden thing for us is kind of, you know, it's a little bit more corporate now. Hyundai are doing the thing, and they're doing fantastic work with Hayden in New Zealand. And we actually enjoyed the process from where he was to where he's got today, and he still works closely with Ari. And I think we've got 5 years of fun.
Stage 3, Puki 2, 42.4 kilometres, the longest of the day, and a very close call for Andrew Hawkswood.
Ooh. Andrew practices stunt driving at home, but he didn't think he'd be using it down here at Otago. That will have lost him a few seconds. But that might just remind Andrew to keep it tidy through the rest of this event.
Holder just 1.4 seconds faster than Hawkswood here.
And steady, consistent speed for Holder. He'll be pleased with his pace in the Hyundai.
But the fastest team on the stage, Glenn Inkster and Spencer Wynn in the Eco-Light Skoda.
And we saw flashes of brilliance from Glenn in the Skoda last year, but I think he's really putting a message out there that his team is a contender for the championship in 2017.
Now, with rain during the week, dust hasn't been an issue here, but Sloane Cox is catching Ben Hunt, who still has brake problems.
Ooh, which is causing Sloane some brake problems of his own.
Enough to drop Sloane to 7th. Reece Gardner pushed down to 4th, losing position to both Holder and Inkster, who were 2nd and 3rd. Emma Gilmore holding 5th place, but she could have moved into 3rd if not for this small error on these super fast stages.
6 right.
So a good lead for Hawkeswood, but the top 5 still very close.
Andrew, fantastic start to the morning.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Just, you know, trying to be consistent and sweeping a bit of gravel out of the way because we sort of drive on a bit of a different line to everybody else. But no, it's been great.
And you've enjoyed the first 2 stages, but I understand a bit of an incident in stage 3. Talk us through it.
Yeah, unfortunately I cut a corner. There was quite a sharp left-hand turn at a junction. I cut that and it flicked the car up onto 2 wheels and we had to take evasive action and turn hard to the right and it put us off the road. So we just reversed out of that and carried on.
Must be enjoying it. You're sitting 2nd overall, only 20 seconds off Hawkeswood.
Yeah, quite surprising. There's plenty of room for improvement.
There's been a real revival in Class 2 this year with 6 front-wheel drive cars, all with young drivers. 4 of the cars are Fiestas, with Ari Pettigrew the standout performer, 1-minute class lead after 3 stages.
And these Fiestas are a fantastic package, but with the addition of a left-hand drive car in this case, this is a team with a vision to the future.
Jack Hawkeswood has a Mazda built on the same AP4 platform as his father's car, but with a 2-litre engine and front-wheel drive, it has similar performance to the Fiestas. Unfortunately, Jack's day ended early with a roll on stage 2. Last year, Dylan Thompson was the sole competitor in the Fiesta. He was caught napping on the first 2 stages, but responded with a time on stage 3 just 10 seconds slower than Pettigrew. Robbie and Amy Stokes are another second-generation team. This is an older front-wheel drive Corolla, but still a great platform for learning to drive rallying. So after 3 stages, Pettigrew has a commanding lead.
So, Ari, here at the first service of your first 2-day rally, of your first noted rally, of your first recce rally, a lot of firsts, including first in class. How's it going?
Yeah, no, it's going pretty well actually. So we're a bit surprised that we were sitting, but no, we had a really good morning, enjoying the car, getting used to it, just doing our own thing. So yeah, it's been good.
Stage 4 Glendew, 32.7 kilometres of forestry just outside of Lawrence. Running first on the road, Dave Holder. Definitely sweeping off the loose gravel and the rocks, but the suspension on the AP4 Hyundai is soaking up the rough terrain.
And Dave's looking exceptionally comfortable being first on the road here. Road sweeping is not an issue after the experience it gained from last year, and that Hyundai looks comfortable in these conditions.
End of the stage then, 24.02.8. It's the stage time. Hawkeswood had a 20-second lead going into the stage, but 16 seconds he's down on Holder at the halfway split. So down to the end of the stage, Hawkeswood has lost 36 seconds. Drops to 2nd place. Glenn Inkster and Reece Gardner have been swapping positions all morning. Inkster using all of the road there, but is it enough to hold on to 3rd position? End of the stage, his time 24 minutes 40.5, same as Hawkeswood. But Gardner has been improving. I think he's loving this Mazda, Patrick.
Yes, he's loving these conditions in this Mazda with a 2.4 litre engine. Looking at his time, 24 minutes 07.9. That's 3rd place, just 0.6 off Hawkeswood.
But Emma Gilmore striking problems on this stage. After a great start to the day, she would be sidelined by, guess what, a $10 part.
All that minus.
Oh, yeah, there's problems changing up into 3rd. She's stuck in 2nd gear. That's going to be super frustrating. She's going to have to crawl out of the stage.
Right, 7 right over crest.
Can you see anything with wiring or anything?
Yeah, we're in the stage.
I've only got second gear. It's lost total selection with the gearbox.
Good thinking there. They're calling the service crew from inside the stage. The intercom has a Bluetooth connection to her phone, but there is no fix and drops to 21st. Steady progress though for Graham Featherston, taking Emma's 5th place. A spin and a puncture would see Sloane Cox lose time as well, dropping him to 10th place. Competing in the challenge class, Dean Buist, he was leading that class, putting in a giant-killing performance, actually 7th overall.
We're here in the middle of stage at Rally Otago, and whilst the weather is absolutely stunning and dust isn't proving to be a problem, the roads are still exceptionally challenging. The racing line goes from exceptionally soft right here on the inside of the corner to a perfect swept racing line, and if you go a minimal amount out off the road, complete ice. Really challenging for our drivers today.
Anthony Jones, the best of the open two-wheel drive cars, in 17th place. Behind him, David Taylor in a Honda Civic, and Daniel Alexander in a 1600 Toyota Starlet. But surely New Zealand's strangest rally car, the Hillman Hunter V8 of Jeffrey Ward. And adding some international spice from Ireland, the man they call fast, sideways and crazy, Frank Kelly. And if you watch rallies on YouTube, then this man will be familiar. Frank and his escort Baby Blue have over 500,000 fans worldwide thanks to his wild driving on tarmac and gravel.
It took me 25 years to become an overnight sensation, basically. It all came down to social media, YouTube. My daughter, Lauren, she did media studies at college, and when she had to use a subject, it turned out to be me and Baby Blue. So she's to blame for most of this, and she's probably the reason why we're in New Zealand. Otago's a very famous rally around the world, basically. The New Zealand roads are famous world over. Any rally driver that comes here will tell you that the gravel roads here are some of the best roads in the world. There's no other way to drive, the only way is sideways. It's the sheer exhilaration. Lots of times going straight is the quickest way, but that's not nearly as much fun. We enjoy our rallying, we enjoy our Mark II escorts. Rallying is very much a cult thing in Ireland. If you're into rallying, you know everything about rallying. If you're not, you know nothing about rallying. So it's very much that, and there is a serious enthusiasm, which I've seen here as well. I think you Kiwis are not far away from being Irish.
But stage 4 caught out Frank, and also saw the end of a great run by Ari Pettigrew.
7 left, long, hug. What's wrong?
Like engine team.
Hey?
Engine team through the roof.
Oh, is it?
How much longer?
We've got 3 Ks. Hug 50.
It's done damage, so I might as well just keep going.
7 right, long, mid.
Stage 5 Reserve Road, a short 16.46 kilometre stage through open farmland, and it's fast.
The stages around Lawrence are very fast. We haven't visited them for a couple of years now, but certainly, you know, wide open public road, flat out 6th gear, so stuff that suits me. So I'm really looking forward to that side of it.
Holder would be 4th fastest through the stage, but his luck was on his side as Andrew Hawkswood picked up a 50-second penalty at the stage start. A split oil cooler could have spelled disaster for the Mazda man, but a roadside repair saw him back in the stage 15 seconds faster than Holder. Inkster and Gardner gaining places here as Hawkswood's penalty slipped him to 5th. Inkster, though, had chosen the wrong tyres for these stages, can't match the pace of Gardner's Mazda. He's now in 2nd, 11 seconds behind Holder with 30 seconds to Inkster. Dylan Turner staying in touch in the Mitsubishi, but no heroics. He just wants to collect points before the debut of his new car. Carl Davies has improved in the morning stages, but withdrew at the end of stage 5 as a precaution after an engine warning light came on. David Thexton back after a break with his son Thomas, who co-drove for Clinton Cunningham last year. He was slightly distracted by a top-dressing helicopter, but Thomas is quick to get him back focused on the road.
It's 400 metres, Dad. Yeah.
Brian Green returns as championship sponsor, and after a lot of work to make the Mirage more suitable for his driving style, enjoying the power of this Mirage.
And Matt Summerfield did some testing in this car in the off-season and helped make it more solid and predictable for Brian to drive. And he's really enjoying it down here in Otago.
The NZ Classic Championship is running inside the Otago International Classic Rally. Regan Ross on fire today, leading the class with stage times that would put him well inside the top 10 overall. This could be the last outing for Marcus Van Klink's Group B RX-7 as he debuts a new car at Whangarei. The Mazda man over a minute behind by stage 5. Tony Gosling another minute back in his BDA Escort, having a close battle with the Mazda of John Silcock. Despite a small off here on stage 5, Silcock only 0.6 behind the Escort driver. And adding even more interest to the class in 5th place, Graham Cowie in a replica Rally Art Mitsubishi Lancer Turbo. The final gravel stage for day 1, stage 6, Cockleshell, just 12.89 kilometres. Hawkeswood desperate to make up time before the end of the day's service. Fastest again on the stage in the Mazda. Sloane Cox also on a charge, second fastest, but that puncture had cost him over 2 minutes. Inkster, third fastest and holding 3rd place, but Hawkeswood in 4th was just 2 seconds back. Holder was doing everything right to keep the lead. And Gardner, 13 seconds slower on the stage, but still comfortable in 2nd place. So Holder has a 15-second lead on Gardner. Inkster could be under threat though from Hawkeswood. Ross now 6th outright.
Dave, everything must be working out nicely for you. You're sitting pretty at the moment.
Yeah, no, we've got to be happy. First day and finished where we started, so that's good. And to be honest, I think this car just must be a weapon because we're not doing anything special and we're still sitting up there, so it's great.
Reece, this must be a dream run, 2nd going to the final stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising. Probably didn't expect to do this. The goal was to learn. Maybe we're learning faster than I thought, but I mean, the car's good. The car's, it was potential yet.
You must be happy sitting 3rd.
Yeah, stoked. Obviously, handy Andy Hawkeswood. He's only 2 seconds off us, and he's a bit of a demon around that special stage on the tarmac in Dunedin. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, our goal was to try and be inside the top 5. So we're inside the top 5, and that's absolutely fantastic.
A couple of dramas creeping in there.
Yeah, you know, that the forestry one, you know, I wanted to take it easy in there, but just took it too easy, you know, and this is such a hard gauge, you know, you kind of need somebody in there to tell you how you're travelling against everybody else, but, you know, we took it super slow and super safe, and unfortunately we threw away a lot of time to David. Then on the touring stage, we noticed we had no oil left in the car, and they had a split oil cooler, so we had to stop and repair that, and picked up another 50 seconds in penalties, so, yeah.
Emma, fantastic day and then tragedy. Tell us what happened.
It's motorsport, isn't it? 1 minute you're smiling, the next minute, oh, yeah, frowns upside down. About 5 kilometres into the forestry stage, just the gear selector just went, so we were stuck in 2nd gear. So we still had about just on 30 k's to drive out. So we drove out in 2nd gear. Obviously dropped a lot of time there. Tried to fix it at stage end, couldn't fix it. Started heading towards the next stage, but then decided it was just going to be too hard on the car, of the engine revs, because you're revving it so high in 2nd gear just to try to keep your speeds up. That we just decided it was just better to get it fixed and have another go tomorrow. We'll get out for the publicity stage this afternoon.
So it's time for the Dunedin Street Sprint stage, 2.15 kilometres, but watch out for the curbs. Hawkeswood taking it seriously, running tarmac tyres and keeping out of trouble to win the stage. Sloane Cox in 2nd, just 0.9 behind, still finishing 9th overall. Graham Featherston 3rd fastest, just 0.1 slower. And Brian Green showing great speed here, 5th fastest on the stage in the Mirage. So it's Holder in front by 16 seconds from Reece Gardner, then Andrew Hawkeswood. Glenn Inkster, though, dropped back to 5th, picking up a 40-second penalty. Saturday also saw the running of the Gold Rally Challenge. Richard Bateman returned his favourite in his Evo 9, but the fastest times had come from Dean Bewist in the Escort, who had been top 10 all day. Keith Anderson was fastest of the four-wheel drives in the morning until Bateman took the lead on stage 4. Jonathan Walker retiring on stage 3. The Audi of Phil Collins fourth in the morning, but in the afternoon Fred Merkin moved past into second overall in the four-wheel drive class, joined in a three-stage battle with veteran Lloyd Owen and Ben Brown chasing in his old Evo 1. Bewist was a clear winner of two-wheel drive. Robin McCullum having crashed out on stage 3. Dave Taylor and the Honda Civic. And Daniel Alexander, Toyota Starlet, picking up the final podium positions in the Gold Challenge. So it's Dean Bewist who takes out the Gold Rally Challenge, followed by Bateman and Merkin. Dean Bewist collecting the Gold Fuel Prize for his outstanding performance in the Gold Rally Challenge. Day 2 of Rally Otago, today based at Lake Waihola. The first stage, Whare Flat, through the forest, flat out on the edge of the city. Once again, David Holder running first on the road.
And the start of the stage is slow and tight, and it is cold this morning. So there's not a great chance to get the tyres, brakes, or the driver warmed and up to temperature. And I'd say that spins down just to cold tyres.
About 10 seconds lost turning around. Now, day 2 of the rally is timed separately with bonus points awarded to the top 5 finishers for the day. But there's also the rally overall to worry about. Holder needs to be on his game here. Stage time, 8:06.2. Reece Gardner, now second on the road.
And he definitely had a benefit from his stage order position on day 1. So it'll be interesting to see if that slows him down here.
23 seconds faster than Holder here. That's the overall rally lead. Andrew Hawkswood might be wondering what he has to do to keep up with his old Mazda. And something else to consider here in the forest, sunstrike. It'll get worse as the sun rises. Hawkswood 5 seconds slower than Gardner. Sloane Cox will be fighting back for a podium after his day 1 puncture. A good start here, fastest so far, 7 minutes 40.6. Matt Summerfield back with a spare gearbox fitted and looking forward to the day.
Having lots of spectators on the stages, it's can be a bit daunting at first, but then once you're there, you're focusing on 2 things, is being really fast around there and don't make a mistake. So pretty critical. No one wants to make a mistake in front of a whole lot of people, but yeah, it's awesome to see the huge amount of spectators on these stages.
7 minutes 51.7, a steady start. Also back for day 2, Emma Gilmore, and straight to the top of the leaderboard, 7 minutes 35.8. What a good start to the day.
And Emma's got the right attitude here. She's already put day 1 behind her, and she's focused on the result here for day 2.
Stop at 5 left.
Graham Featherston 4th fastest. And Glenn Inkster just half a second behind in 5th.
Right over jump.
Ben Hunt had worked hard to find the issues with his car. Ride height, shock adjustments has improved the Subaru. He was less than a second off Hawkswood in 7th.
And that's a huge improvement from yesterday. A real testament to the effort the team are putting in here.
Dave Strong's Honda-powered Fiesta still the best-sounding car on the New Zealand rally roads. But bad news for the Toyota Yaris of Carl Davies, pulling out in the stage. Andy Martin has brought the V-Dub Polo to the Rally of Otago. He tipped her over on Saturday, but keen to get as much seat time as he can back on Sunday. Stage 9 Black Rock, 14.9 kilometres. Emma Gilmore putting all her experience to work to take the Day 2 lead here on roads that require a lot of faith.
Having total faith in the pace notes is definitely, sometimes I wonder if there's something a little bit wrong with us rally drivers, because it just seems all wrong. You know, everything in your body is telling you, back off, you know, that we don't know what's over the crest, we don't know what's around this corner, but I think that's where the huge buzz comes from, because everything's telling you not to do it, but it's like, no, co-drivers told me that's where the road's going, and you keep your foot flat, and sure enough the road's there, but you still have, I suppose it's still that sort of belief, and then, you know, when it comes through, it's like, wow, that is so cool.
What a great explanation. Glenn Inkster 3 seconds faster on this stage, and that would move him to second for the day. Overtaking Cox by just 100th of a second. Waipori Gorge is an Otago Rally Classic, 12.46 kilometres. It requires speed, bravery and some luck to win the stage, and Gilmore's just ran out.
Oh, and she just clipped that rock. She was unlucky not to hold on to it there, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Flat tyre to boot, she is going to be bleeding time.
Inkster through in 8 minutes 01, enough to take the Day 2 lead.
And this is Inky's country. He loves challenging roads. He'll be revelling in this stage.
Cox just a second slower on the stage, so he moves to second overall.
And not short of commitment there.
Hawkswood 10 seconds slower than Inkster, and now third for Day 2.
But Andrew will be focused on points. He'll be focused on bagging as many points as he can for the weekend.
Darren Galbraith fourth overall, making up for Day 1 disappointment. Like Matt Summerfield, who was putting in some good stage times despite the standard gearbox.
And a standard gearbox means that this car will not have a front locked diff. So effectively, it's like driving a 3-wheel drive car, challenging in these conditions.
But the man on the move, David Holder, who made up 5 places on the stage with a storming run to 6th. So it's Glenn Inkster who leads Day 2 standings from Cox and Hawkswood. Not a lot between Summerfield and Holder though.
Car does feel fantastic and got a lot of confidence in it, and Anthony and I are working well together, so yeah, it was great to get a stage win straight off, and always knew we'd probably struggle a little bit in that next stage being so fast, but we held our own in there. And stage 3 was going well, just came into a corner with just a bit too much speed, and in my braking zone I was like, uh-oh, we're in trouble here. So I was sort of like, he sort of had 2 options. We'd go, keep going, go off the edge of the road, or just got out in the loose stuff and tried to scrub some speed in the gutter, but there was a rock wall that just caught us, and it was a big impact on the front right. I actually thought we were going to tip because it sort of stopped us so quickly, but just spun up and had a flat tyre.
On a charge this morning, Glenn, on a charge, how's it been?
Yeah, great. It's awesome stages. The second 2 of this loop we've done last year, so it's really neat when you can push just that little bit extra. And there's a Black Rock stage in there that was so fast and so cool. Like you just, yeah, it's indescribable how awesome that stage was. And we managed to win another one. So it's going good, but now it really is about backing down the pace and just keeping down the middle of the road in this big, long forestry stage, because it has changed the rally in the past so much. So you sort of attack each stage on its merits, and it really depends if you've done it before, so you know the notes are good, because it's one thing to drive through a road at 50 to 60 kilometres an hour trying to write pace notes, and then another thing when you come in smoking over a hill at 180, it can alter your braking point somewhat.
Isn't that the classic Kiwi understatement? Regan Ross continued to lead the NZ Classics despite gearbox issues. Marcus van Klink just a few seconds back for day 2 standings, but overall he trailed by 1 minute 20. John Silcock and Tony Gosling continued to trade times for 3rd place. Silcock getting past Gosling on stage 10 for day 2 standings by just 5 seconds. And Graham Coe still holding 5th in his Lancer.
Had a really great day today, but obviously some dramas at the moment.
Yeah, just after touring out of Waipori, and obviously having in Waipori, it's just taking the teeth off 4th gear, so it's cleaned its own teeth to the point of doesn't like it anymore, really. So.
Are you going to be able to get it done in time, do you think, Regan?
Yeah, no, we'll be fine. We've got the right men on the job, so should be good.
Clinky, you having a good morning, but a bit of a high value activity there?
Yeah, no, it was a good start to the day, but we just lost our clutch and coming to the last stage, so hey, we'll see what we can do now, but it might be something small, but yeah, lucky it's a dog pot, so we can crash our way through for the rest of the day with any luck.
Duking it out with the rest of the boys in the Classics, enjoying it?
Yeah, I need to get more consistent and a bit braver on the fast stuff, but in the tight stuff we seem to be going good. We're having a real battle with Tony Gosling at the moment, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
This morning we thought we'd done enough. We came out of Wardy Flat the first stage, only I think 3 seconds behind him. We did a good time in there, and Black Rocky got us by 0.8 of a second, I think, and then Waipori Gorge, I don't say this stuff to Blue, but in my mind I was thinking we're going to have a real crack in here, and then 300 metres in we're off the side of the road, so we've got a bit of work to do this afternoon, but we're having fun, and credit to John, like this is what it's about, isn't it, having a close battle with someone.
Unfortunately, Van Klink was off-road at the next stage and out of the rally.
Right.
Stage 11, Shaw's Hill, the longest of the day at 47.42 kilometres. Holder running first on the road is through with no issues. He crosses the line with a time of 30 minutes 29.7. Hawkswood next, despite a wide line at the 200 metre board, he's on track. Minutes 28.4. But it's Sloane Cox who takes the stage win, with the top 3 separated by just 1.3 seconds over 48 kilometres.
Mid-flat crest, finish 30.
Job Quantock is the top rookie at this point, which is promising as he'll take over the Hyundai at Rally Canterbury. So as we head to the final service park, Cox in the lead for day 2 from Hawkswood and Holder, but Holder still with the overall rally lead.
Sloane, after a tough day yesterday, you're having a fantastic crack at it now.
Yeah, can't believe it. It's been an awesome day. Still sucks about that flat tyre, but that's racing, and here's a comeback for the weekend to get a good final result.
Andrew, fantastic run through Shaw's Hill, only 1 second off Sloane Cox.
Yeah, no, we pushed really hard through there. That's what we needed to do, but unfortunately we haven't made any quantum leaps against David Holder, so we have to keep pushing on.
Dave, spectacular run through the long stage Shaw's Hill, only a couple of seconds off both Cox and Hawkswood. How did it feel?
Yeah, I just tried to keep it consistent through there. I think we had a big advantage with the Pirellis, all 3 of us sort of a wee bit ahead of everyone else, so I think that was what it was. But yeah, just tried to stay tidy in the middle of the road and got to the end.
Joe, tell us how your morning's been so far.
You know, we've had a really grouse morning this morning. We've just slowly been sort of working up to it through the first 3 stages, and now we're starting to pick the pace up a bit now and get a bit more confidence in the notes, which is what we had to do. So that's all just following the game plan at the moment, really.
And obviously everything that you're doing is building up for the rest of the season, to that golden opportunity, the Hyundai AP4 at the end of the year. What are you looking forward to in that the most?
Just as soon as you hop in that car, everything's purpose built to be a pure bed race machine. Everything just works 10 times better, and it's just, yeah, just when you get to pull that lever on that sequential gearbox, and everything just flows, and it's just so much fun.
Three stages left to go. Stage 12, Akatore, 29.52 kilometres of forestry. This is the stage with the biggest hidden crests, rewarding the drivers who listen to their notes and frightening for those who don't.
Centre of crest 180. Long 7 right, narrows over small crest. Like that. Small crest, narrows 80.
I think Ben lost his train of thought there, but at least the car flew well.
Oh, that was big error. That was big. Long 7 right, on crest 200.
David Holder, though, making this the stage to challenge for the lead with a time of 18 minutes 42.1. Reece Gardner, 19.5 seconds slower after bending his suspension on the jump. And disaster for Glenn Inkster. All that hard work and great results, and his weekend ends with a damaged engine. He would salvage just 1 point.
No oil pressure. Get somewhere safe and pull over.
Hawkswood losing out to Holder on this stage too, 13.8 seconds slower, so Holder leapfrogs past for the Day 2 lead. Sloane Cox's lead on the day, all too brief, when he went off into a paddock and lost a minute.
Oh, it's not often you miss a strainer post when you go through, well, 2 fences at Rally Otago and then lined up for the perfect exit through the gate. Top marks, Sloane.
And he still managed to hold third for the day. Darren Galbraith just outside the top 5 and the Day 2 points, and he had a misfire. Anthony Drones led the open 2-wheel drive class on Day 2 in his highly modified Escort. And back on the stage is crazy Frank Kelly, the Irishman, this time staying within 20 seconds of Jones and enjoying the rally roads.
And he's got a Kerry man sitting next to him in Noel Maloney, who normally co-drives for Anthony, just in front.
But it was the end of the road for the Hillman V8, out with computer malfunction. So Jack Williamson moves into third on his turbocharged Suzuki Swift. This time it was Dylan Thompson trailing by a minute in second. And Jack Hawkswood had the Mazda back on the stages, but made a really good job of rolling out of the rally late in the day. More issues sidelined the Stokes car in the morning. Max Tragilgis led the Class 2 cars, leaving Christopher McLean in third. Corey Bush is the power stage, so bonus points are for grabs along with bragging rights if you can beat Hayden Patton's record.
This is Big Stone Road, part of the Curry Bush stage at Rally Otago, and it is a true test of bravery and skill. But the drivers love it, so let's go ask them why.
Probably about, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago, everybody started talking about Curry Bush, and now it's like it's a stage to win. So,
Curry Bush is it's one of those infamous stages that every year we come back to Otago, and I think a lot of the field just are waiting for another go at Curry Bush.
Personally, I grew through the last few years hating it, and now I'm just coming into the part where I appreciate it, where you know, when you do get it right, the feelings of having the car light and into the next corner straight away. But in saying that, it's really hard to get right.
Now that the drivers have had their say, it's time for them to put the money where their mouth is. Now, I think I found the perfect spot to watch.
And one guy certainly wasn't holding back Patrick David Holder.
Yeah, he says he doesn't trust the stage yet, but he is super quick through here. And this car will be an excellent contender for stage win.
Probably the closest we'll get to conditions like Rally Finland on the WRC.
And you have to wonder whether in these conditions he can challenge for the stage record set by Hayden last year.
7:24.1, that's Patton's record, averaging 122 kilometres.
That's seriously fast.
And the time, 7:48.4, no record for Holder. All Reese Gardner, who was coasting to the finish line in a damaged car. Hard in the mouth stuff for Hawkswood though, as he uses all the road and some.
And Andrew's hunting for points here, but he is pedal to the metal through this stage.
Spectacular stuff here on the gravel roads of Otago. Hawkswood's time, 7:47. Gee, that was quick. Now, Matt Summerfield actually went quicker again, but he'd caught the dust of Sloane Cox.
Matt, you're looking frustrated there, but still fastest.
Oh yeah, someone behind us might do it, but I knew he had a problem from the start and just caught him for ages, so back to find out, mate.
Graham Featherston loves rally sprints, but he said he hadn't thought much about this stage. Maybe it was that jump, but he managed to take the power stage win from Summerfield by just 0.1, his first championship stage win on gravel.
Feathers, blinding time through there. You took the stage win out of Summerfield's hand by 0.1 of a second.
That's quite unreal, really, because I was talking to you earlier about how I've done no homework on it and just drove it on notes and went hard, so nailed it.
8 left over crest 80. Ow. Whoa. That's it. Okay. Wow. Start it. We got steering?
I think so.
Ow. Whoa. We just took all the cameras out.
Don't worry, Blair, the invoice is on the way. Okay, just stage 14 left to enjoy, 8 kilometres Macintosh Road. Regan Ross winning the Classic class, but losing the Otago Classic Rally to Marco Martin of Estonia by 11 seconds. Dylan Thompson taking Class 2 honours for the rally. In Class 3, Anthony Jones making it to the finish with Jack Williamson, the only other class finisher. Reese Gardner bringing the Mazda home for 3rd overall. Andrew Hawkswood had fought back all day, but in the end, 2nd place was the best for him. David Holder scoring his first victory for Hyundai New Zealand, repaying the faith that Hayden Patton has shown in him over the last 3 years. So confirming Holder the Day 2 winner from Hawkswood by just 10.2 seconds. Good recovery for Summerfield and Hunt, who had made good progress on Day 2. And in the overall results, Holder the outright winner from Hawkswood and Gardner.
Dave, outstanding event. Pretty much everything you wanted to have happen for the weekend.
Oh, look, it's an amazing result for us and the whole team, and the Hyundai's just been amazing to drive all weekend, which made my job way simpler, and the boys looked after us. It's great to be here.
Fast through the power stage, but not fast enough.
No, that's right. We got a few points, but and then we, I didn't realise that we were only 2.6 going into the last stage behind David for the day points, and I sort of took it easy a bit too much through there and threw that one away too, but it's all right, we're here.
Reese, dream debut in the Mazda AP4?
Yeah, we're stoked with that. Totally unexpected. For a weekend that was about learning, it's nice to have a result as well.
So confirming those results for Drive Safe Rally Otago, the overall combined 2-wheel drive results going to Anthony Jones from Dylan Thompson and Christopher McLean. In the Class 4 honours, it's Regan Ross who takes out the win from John Silcock and the spectacular Tony Gosling. But overall, the man of the moment, Drive South Rally Otago, it goes to David Holder. And the drive of the rally goes to Regan Ross. We'll see you next time for Rally Whangarei.